marketing plan. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. If you should need assistance during the call, please press star, then 0, and an operator will come back online to assist you. Thank you. Mr. Ken Vanderwill, you may begin your conference.
Thank you, and hello, and welcome to the Managed Services webcast series produced by CA Technologies and our business partner, For Profit. Shortly, I'll introduce Ginger Clay, our guest marketing expert from For Profit. This series of webcasts builds on each other and are designed to help you develop and advance your managed service practice. Today is the fourth in our series, all of which have been archived for future reference. Our first webcast talked about VARs becoming an MSP and needing to transform their business to operate more like a vendor. And that means selling and marketing your service offerings just as a vendor would their own products. Our second webcast talked about how to create a compelling service offering, and our third addressed pricing and packaging. Today, we'll build on these last three webcasts and talk about how to effectively generate demand for your service offerings through effective marketing strategies, as marketing is critical in the successful execution of a managed service practice. My name is Ken Vanderwill. I'm a Senior Director, Global Services with CA Nimsoft, and I'm a member of our MSP Center of Excellence team. I've been with CA Nimsoft for 9 years and have been in the IT service management space for 20 years. Joining me is Ginger Clay. Ginger is a marketing and channel strategist on the For Profit team. Ginger has served the technology industry for the past 10 years, helping solution providers, manufacturers, vendors, and professional associations grow their market awareness, drive demand for their product and services, and create satisfied paying customers for life using creative, unconventional marketing solutions. Before we pass over to Ginger and have Ginger introduce her organization, For Profit, I'd just like to share a few words about CA Nimsoft. We're a pioneer in developing IT service management software. Our decades of experience and strict focus on IT systems management positioned us to deliver a number of firsts. We were first to deliver unified monitoring, that's monitoring data center and cloud at a single pane of glass. We were first to meter monitoring usage against dynamic cloud usage, first to monitor converged private cloud stacks, first to bring full function IT systems management as a SaaS-based solution, first to extend monitoring to data center energy efficiency, and first to deliver a unified service desk and monitoring solution. Here we're showing a CA Nimsoft unified IT management solution, full function and fully integrated ITIL-based service desk, and end-to-end monitoring capabilities. Our solution is enabling high-value service offerings for our hundreds of service provider partners. The broad IT technology coverage shown along the bottom translates very well into a rich service catalog of monitoring services. And the broad range of service desk functions across the top enables managed services operational excellence. And then finally, CA Nimsoft has developed a MSP Center of Excellence program, which is a business enablement resource that's included with CA Nimsoft investments. The program is designed to support our MSP partners' business growth. We pulled together a team of individuals with expertise across managed services business functions. And along the right side of the slide, you'll see the areas where our MSP COE team offers assistance to our MSP partners. I'd like to now bring Ginger Clay in to share a few words about our organization, For Profit. Ginger, could you please help our audience understand who For Profit is and the services your organization brings to managed service providers?
You bet. Thank you, Ken. For Profit is basically an organization of coaches that guide and inspire business leaders to reach their chosen destination. And what that means is we provide business coaching services through business assessments, coaching services, strategic planning, CEO development, and then around the basics in business such as sales, operations, marketing, etc. We do that through peer groups, through workshop training, and we do a lot of that one-on-one. So our goal is to really help solution providers transform their business and really understand along the journey of business why they got into business and what it is they're trying to accomplish. So that's a little bit about For Profit.
Okay, and then through the course of the webcast, you're going to get a really good feel for the comprehensive nature of the for-profit services, specifically in this case, their marketing and sales enablement services. So, again, the last several webcasts that Nimsoft has conducted with for-profit have really centered on starting a managed service practice. For example, in our last pricing and packaging webcast, Lane Smith, he's a member of the for-profit team, he mentioned that we're now at the point in the productizing checklist where our focus is on sales and marketing. I'd like, Ginger, if you can kick us off, can you provide us with a bit of an overview of what you're going to cover on today's marketing-focused webcast?
You bet. Today we're going to cover 5 main points. We're going to first off start talking about better understanding the role of marketing in your organization so that everyone understands the value and can work towards a common goal. We're also going to talk about how marketing is used across your organization. This is especially important for understanding the differences between sales and marketing and then getting everyone on the team to work together towards optimal results. We'll talk about developing a marketing strategy for accomplishing your goals, building a winning marketing plan that's tied to results that are measurable, and then finally explore best practices for executing a profitable marketing plan. So to get started, I thought we'd talk a little bit about why do people avoid marketing. Let's face it, you provide services, you are solution providers, and often marketing is not your favorite topic. And maybe it is, and you'll enjoy this today. But unlike other jobs that can be measured or quantified or reproduced consistently, marketing is a collection of tactics that, when put together, they do make the phone ring, they drive demand, and ultimately they establish you as the premier solution to your markets. The challenge when implementing marketing is that most organizations in the marketing area think that it means different things to different people. And this is why I think so many times MSPs avoid marketing altogether. So when interviewing some owners, I tried to really figure out why is it that they avoid marketing and what do you think the role of marketing is? So here's the top responses I got. Number 1, voodoo, right? You never really know what bags of tricks to use. Or sometimes they say it's a waste of money. Half of my budget goes to marketing, only I don't know which half, right? Sometimes you feel like it's fluff. It's a bunch of words that don't really mean anything. Or maybe you think marketing is immeasurable. I'm never really able to tie a single marketing activity to the end line revenue. And then, of course, there's those optimists that say it's important, but I'm not sure why. I know I need it, but I'm not sure how it works. Therefore, I'm having trouble determining its value.
Ginger, in your experience with working with a great number of different organizations, how long do some organizations put off focusing on marketing? And what's often the breaking point that makes them realize they can no longer avoid marketing?
That's a great question. I think marketing is perhaps the most important activity in a business because it has a direct effect on the profitability and sales. So MSPs finally decide to engage with marketing, I think, when they realize they need a way to feed that sales pipeline and they no longer want to live from feast to famine. The truth is that there's a set of unanswered questions about marketing that often keep business leaders up at night and keep them from pulling the trigger on a good marketing plan. And really it all centers around formulating a good marketing plan that works in tandem with your sales and business goals. So what are some of those questions that keep you from putting together a marketing plan? They might be, how do I know what my marketing return on investment will be? This is probably the most asked question. And how much of the budget should really be dedicated to marketing to be effective? When do I call it quits on a failed marketing endeavor? Or how can I be assured it will work? Unfortunately, you can't, but there are ways to make sure that it will be successful. And why didn't my sales manager think of that? Or what if we say too much and the competition steals our ideas? I mean, all those questions keep business owners from really engaging in marketing and understanding how to use it properly.
That's definitely a lot of questions to keep an MSP business owner or the MSP leader up at night. Perhaps we could break it down a bit so that marketing can seem a bit more manageable and not as intimidating of an endeavor. Can you describe exactly what the role of marketing is?
You bet. And I think this is a really good question and a really good topic to explore, because often we think of sales and marketing in the same breath. And while the two functions definitely work hand in hand, they are not exactly the same. So, of course, the first role of marketing, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, is to find and target qualified buyers. It is the marketing team that finds the buyers that meet your ideal clients. They're going to be a part of implementing management strategies and goals and tying those to a target audience. And they also will help you understand your competitors and your competitive landscape. The second role of marketing is to attract buyers. You see, marketing is no one winning strategy. Rather, it's the combination of several strategies that interest buyers and make your products and services attractive. And I think this is a big difference between sales and marketing. Another big role of marketing is courting a potential buyer. And I love this word, court. It's really a lost art in our thinking. The fact is that over 76% of your buyers are not yet ready to buy when they first engage with you. Just think about that for a moment, 76% of your buyers. And statistics show us that it takes 12 touches with a prospective buyer before they decide they can trust you and want to do business with you. So courting, quote unquote, is important for establishing a buyer's trust in your ability to do what you say you do. Now, the fourth purpose and role of marketing is to help the sales team sell more services. And this is where the business owners are jumping up and down and say, yes, it is. So there, I said it as a marketer, one of the roles of marketing is to help the sales team sell more of your services. And marketing and sales are not independent, so it's very important that they work very closely together to achieve those results.
Ginger, I'm really glad that you're making mention of how sales and marketing are not independent entities, since we often see with many MSP partners that we work with that sales and marketing do operate independently. Can you talk to us about the role of sales and how it's different from marketing, but also mention where the two definitely need to work collaboratively with each other?
You bet. 4 roles of sales. Just like marketing has 4 major roles. The first one is to evaluate need, right? So once the marketing team has courted that lead, they've deemed that the lead is qualified, they send it over to sales. The sales is still going to evaluate that lead and make sure that it's qualified. And it is the job of the salesperson to further qualify and discover the need or fit of the potential buyer. Sometimes this is done through a needs analysis, a technology discovery, technology audit, whatever you call it. The second role of sales is definitely to present opportunity, right? This means that the sales team is going to craft a proposal and a plan that will best fit the needs of that potential buyer. That's very different than marketing. And, of course, they're going to convince your buyer. They're going to demonstrate value. They're going to show how the products and services will change and improve the way that client will do business. Marketing will certainly play a role in giving them materials and collateral. However, it's the sales team that actually presents that to the buyer. And the biggest difference between sales and marketing is the fourth piece, and that's really closing the deal. Sales brings buyers to transaction. That is their role. That is their job. But they use the tools, they use the collateral, and they use the information that marketing gives them to help them get the job done faster. So at the end of the day, marketing is the first step to setting your sales team up for maximum success. Now, in sales and marketing, there's what I call the 5 truths of marketing, and that if they're embraced, they'll help you position your services for success, and they will build a marketing plan with the results that you desire. So truth number 1, if you don't attract and court, you can't be considered. You got to be out there. You got to be visible, right? If you can't successfully bring the buyer to transaction, nothing else matters. I mean, let's face it. At the end of the day, results matter. Number 3, if you don't aim at the right target, you're throwing money at the wall hoping it will stick. Did you hear what I just said? Think about that. If you don't aim at the right target, you're throwing money at the wall hoping it will stick. Number 4, if you don't measure results, you can't aim with accuracy. And that is very, very important. Accuracy is what helps you know where to aim that weapon or that message and to be able to get results. And, of course, it all begins with the plan. And in my opinion, it all begins with the marketing plan. And sales is very much a part of that. And that entire plan is definitely tied to management goals.
Okay. So these 5 sales and marketing truths definitely sound straightforward and make good sense, but where and how do we even begin to develop a marketing plan, since you've mentioned marketing plan?
Well, you're always going to begin with the end in mind, and that's a strange place to begin, but so many times people begin with this ready, fire, aim mentality, and the truth is it's more like aim, fire, ready. And we jump into a telemarketing campaign, or we throw money at a direct mail gimmick, and then we wonder why the phone doesn't ring. Well, you wouldn't and you shouldn't run your business that way, and marketing is no exception. So to be really successful in any marketing or sales plan, you're going to need to understand what you want to achieve. And this is why I learned very early in my career that the most successful marketing results occur when you start with the end result in mind. This approach allows you to determine what success looks like before you begin. One of my favorite quotes here is, chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up coming to you. Very important when you're looking at strategy.
Ginger, all right, so let's say, for instance, that an MSP business owner is thinking that they want to run a campaign that will achieve 450 leads with a pipeline of X dollars resulting in X dollars of sales revenue. Is that considered thinking about the end result in mind before developing the campaign?
It definitely is. In fact, later in this presentation, I'm going to give you a checklist of items to help you think through what the end in mind looks like. So getting started, one of the 4 things we might look like when we build that plan are the 4 cornerstones of marketing. And a good plan focuses around those 4 items, and the first one being transitioning your position in the market. So what this means is it's about effectively positioning your services to be top of mind for potential customers who need the services you provide. Sounds simple enough, right? But really, positioning is a powerful tool because it allows you to leverage your identity and your message to speak directly to the value a client will experience when they partner with you as their technology solution. See, how you position yourself in the market space, how prospective buyers perceive your value, and why it even matters to them will ultimately determine your ability to leverage your services to achieve the revenue targets that you're seeking. So very, very important. And, of course, we all know the job of marketing is to generate interest and court future buyers until they're ready to engage in the sales process. But what role does marketing play in helping sales do their job better and bring those clients to transaction? And that's number 2. That's marketing to sell more, which really focuses on how marketing and sales teams work together. So the specific items that marketing provides to help sales sell more services through the initial and the subsequent purchases, and how marketing helps the sales position your services to win new business. And then, of course, the 3rd cornerstone, and perhaps the most well-known, is developing a well-defined lead gen plan to help you attract, nurture, convert leads that sometimes fall through the cracks, and they fall off your radar because they're just not yet ready to buy. And if you don't have a system in place, you probably won't be able to capture them again. Now, finally, the last and most overlooked cornerstone of any plan is your ability to maximize your marketing spend and measure the results. And this is really where the rubber meets the road. How do you measure the results of your marketing investment? Where do you find more dollars to support the success you've achieved, or at least intend to build? And often money is allocated to drive sales, but the actual results are inconclusive and the investment just feels impossible to measure. Now, there is manufacturer and vendor dollars out there, sometimes called MDF or MOU, whatever it may be, and they are available, but obtaining these funds can definitely be time-consuming, and the value is sometimes difficult to measure and report. And these are the items that you have to address in advance.
Ginger, I'm sure we have webcast participants that are nodding their heads with this last most often overlooked cornerstone. So what advice do you have for them in terms of more effectively measuring results? Are there any quick tips you could share to ensure that this aspect isn't overlooked?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I don't want to get too far ahead. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to leave you with my most used and preferred measurements to help our listeners really understand the marketing investment and how to put that into action and measure those results.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
So let's dig into the plan. Really, the first step is to build a solid marketing foundation, and that means you begin with an accurate understanding of your competitive environment, your unique differentiators, and the internal-external influences that really affect your ability to compete. So a marketing plan helps you build a solid foundation in three key areas. First one, understanding your competitive environment. As we talked about earlier, understanding how your services stack up or compare with similar offerings. It also helps you to examine your competitive environment by arming your team with information that keeps them just one step ahead of your competition. The second key is establishing key differentiators. And I love this exercise when I'm working with a client because really you take a really in-depth look at what sets you apart from your competition. And what you're going to do is identify a set of key differentiators that become your competitive advantage that no one else can claim but you. And then finally, identifying opportunities in your market space. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to see where there's holes or areas that are being underserved that you can make a difference in.
So understanding your competitive environment is really key in ensuring your services are unique in the market and can help you avoid commoditization. For the webcast participants that might be new to examining their competitive environment, do you have any suggestions on how they can start their market assessment so they can understand their differentiators and build an accurate SWOT analysis?
Right, SWOT analysis, just your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And basically what it does is provide a framework for helping you chart your own strengths and weaknesses and really understand how it relates to the internal and the external environment. I think good SWOT analysis will help you understand how your service mix compares to other offerings, but it also helps you understand how your message stacks up, pricing differences, and just gives you a realistic look at how you are positioned in relationship to your competition, to those around you. So the second step really is positioning your services for success. And positioning in the market is a matter of identifying your ideal client, crafting a compelling value proposition, establishing that brand recognition, and then supporting these efforts with a package of compelling messages and collateral to help you win more deals. So the marketing plan helps you do all four of these things, but the first thing it does is it helps you identify that ideal client. And we all know our favorite clients when we service them, right? They are those clients whose purpose and goals and capabilities best match the services we provide. Of course, likewise, we know when we're not servicing that ideal client. The second thing that business plan helps you do is develop a winning value proposition to help you message effectively. You see, the launching pad for creating demand or bringing clients to transaction and inviting repeat business is less about who you are and what you have to offer and a whole lot more about how you solve your clients' problems, the type of experience your customers will talk about when using your services, and just why they should care. You see, your message should reflect this same philosophy. The third component is constructing your brand for maximum recognition. And, branding's a tricky thing because it goes well beyond your logo and just a good presentation. Effective branding occurs when your brand can be identified, experienced, and recognized by your ideal client. So a consistent look, compelling message, clear value pitch, all these things make it easy for the buyer to remember and find you when they need you. And then finally, crafting an optimal offer to fit the needs of your prospective buyer, right? So some examples of that might be a time-sensitive promotion, a limited-time offer. All of those things are tools to help the sales team create a sense of urgency and close those deals faster.
Okay. So at this point, we have a better understanding around the role of marketing, the role of sales, the need for a marketing plan, the importance of building a solid marketing foundation through an understanding of the competitive environment and key differentiators, and now what the marketing plan enables you to do. How does an organization now take all of this information and turn it into something tangible and operational for the business?
All right. That's when you build the package. One of the functions of marketing is to provide the pre-sales support needed to answer questions, reinforce key benefits, communicate value, to that prospective buyer. So the marketing package is designed to reinforce your value through every stage of the sales pipeline. By creating a set of what I call collateral essentials, you're able to deliver a compelling story every time. And collateral can range from email templates, webinars, brochures, service cut sheets, marketing slicks, videos, all the way to social media tools such as blogs, articles, and online groups. So collateral is very essential for helping you really establish and position yourself in a collateral form or something that everybody can use. And the next step is making yourself known. It's very important to build awareness and really help gain mind share. So building awareness is really about gaining that mind share, but effective mind share leads to wallet share. And that's really what we're all after. The more buzz you can create about your services, the more the awareness exists. The more the awareness exists, the greater chance your service will be top of mind when that buyer makes a buying decision. So the best way to establish awareness and credibility in your market space is to position yourself as a thought leader using high visibility strategies that keep your brand and your offering relevant to your industry.
Ginger, would the development of white papers and blog posts be examples of thought leadership strategies?
I definitely think so. In fact, good thought leadership can be anything from a mention in industry news, print, online publication, or even a blog posting about a new idea you have to offer in the industry, writing an article for a customer's internal newsletter, or even just a customer referral about your expertise. So very, very much so. Now, the next step is important, and I think we all agree that lead generation is what it all is coming to. So developing a scalable and winning lead gen plan has really 4 principles. First one, and you're going to define your lead gen and sales pipeline life cycle. This is a process, and it means that everyone in your organization knows their role, owns their contribution to the plan, and measures the results along the way. The second thing that's important in your lead gen plan is setting sales and marketing goals, defining those numeric targets and overarching goals, and matching those with goals that can be achieved with revenue targets. Very important. Number 3, get marketing and sales to work together. I know I've said this before, but we all know the effectiveness of any marketing plan is really only as good as the cooperation and collaboration of the sales team.
Ginger, do you have any best practices to share on this point in more effectively creating profitable synergy between sales and marketing teams?
Yeah, in fact, marketing is the wise use of many tactics in combination with one another, right? So the 4th point is actually formulating a set of marketing tactics to support the sales goals. See, working as a team, it's very important to remember that our results, marketing's results, are tied to the end results of sales. And so marketing's ability to generate and nurture leads, as well as the sales team's ability to bring leads to a buying decision, is teamwork all along the way. So very, very important. Now, when you're deciding how to build that lead gen program, the next step, it's very important, and let me just advance the slide real quick. Ken, are you there?
Yes, I am. Are you not seeing the slide advance?
Nope, I'm just seeing creating a winning lead gen plan.
We're currently on Choose Your Weapon.
There we are.
Yep.
Wonderful, thank you. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So when you are determining how to put together that lead gen plan, it's very important that you determine in advance which marketing tactics you're going to use to hit the targets you have determined are necessary for defining that success. And that is why it's important to choose your weapons in advance. So as a sales and marketing professional, I usually recommend between 3 to 5 weapons that will help you target the best buyers for a campaign. In other words, what's the size vertical need, generate the volume of leads you need to hit that target, and then finally provide you with enough exposure to build awareness, credibility, and demand. So what do some of these weapons look like? In the past, these are the weapons we usually used as marketers, and today this is what those weapons have turned into. And I love this slide because it really shows how things are progressing and evolving. Now, I have 5 weapons that I usually suggest that are always my favorite. I use web SEO online to drive demand, social marketing to be known, events to make sure that I'm visible, free reports to provide that educational aspect to pull the client to you, and then referrals to make sure that you are credible. So those are my favorite 5 tactics.
This is a strong and realistic list of weapons. I think it's important to note that not all marketing weapons have to cost a lot of money to execute. Isn't that correct?
And that's very much correct. In fact, money is never really the issue. I know some people are probably going, yeah, right. But return on your marketing investment is the most important factor when deciding which marketing tactics to deploy. You can spend a little, you can spend a lot, you can still be wasting money. So again, which of these tactics are going to double, triple, quadruple your money and bring you the results that you're looking for? Which brings me to my next point. Campaigns provide you with a method for educating and courting your buyers through the entire buying decision-making process. Because as we mentioned earlier, not all buyers are ready to make a buying decision when they engage with you. So the goal in any kind of nurturing campaign is to create a series of prospect touches, and I say touches, meaning any way that you reach out and make contact with that prospect, to keep a buyer educated while establishing your services as top of mind. So how do you get started? How do you put the whole plan together? I love action plans, right? I like being told do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it gives me something that I can hang my hat on. I can scale it, and I can do it over and over again. I can repeat it. So number 1, define your target market. Who are they? Again, know where you're aiming. And then isolate that target market. So isolate your distribution and your prospect list. Make sure you understand that the message is tailored to them. It's what they're looking for. It's the right size. Number 3, create a value proposition that speaks to their pain and how you solve that pain. In the end, it's not about you. It's about the pain that you solve. Number 4, package, price, promotion, right? We've got some of the P's in there, some of the marketing P's. You definitely want to make sure that you've got it packaged right, that it's a price that people are going to buy, and then how are you going to promote it? Finally, create that schedule. Without a schedule, it's very unlikely that you're going to follow it through and then execute. So that's really the basic action plan of any marketing endeavor. Now, let's say you've cultivated the client, you've gotten them to choose you as a technology provider, they've bought into your package. So what do you do next? This is really where a lot of solution providers say, oh, okay, I'm done, you're a client. They wash their hands and go on to the next sale. But this is where the most potential lies. Making a good impression can help you build that loyalty early in the relationship and establish the trust. So purposeful communication through well-designed welcome packages, onboarding communication, cross and upsell campaigns, they all help you establish trust, and they help you build a long and profitable relationship between you and your paying client.
That's really a great point to stress. As an MSP, you're no longer being reactive and transactional in the way you conduct yourself with your customer. A successful MSP is proactive and viewed by customers as a trusted advisor, one that will be a long-term relationship-based partnership helping to achieve business success.
Yeah, I really agree with that, Ken. And I think that's why making sure that you understand who your clients are and really purposefully establishing that relationship right after the sale is really a marketing job and very, very important to the ongoing trust that exists between the client and the solution provider. So now that you've won them, how do you measure and compare? And I think it's very important to put a set of measurements in place so that you know that your budget isn't wasted, so that your boss doesn't feel like he's wasting half of his budget on marketing and he doesn't know which half. Very, very important to establish these measurements in advance. And here's a set that I live and die by, essentially. Leads generated. I'm always looking at the amount of total leads generated, whether it's for a particular campaign, whether it's aggregate overall, very, very important. Early responders. This is one of my favorite measurements. What I do is profile or tag leads that sign up for an event or attend a seminar or respond to my invitation the first time. What I'm looking for is how effective is my message and what is the true level of interest really from the prospect. And I think that's an interesting indicator. Lead by source. What this means is I'm measuring the effectiveness of the investment into a particular marketing tactic or strategy. So I'm looking at a particular weapon, whether it's a webinar, whatever that may be, and I'm saying how effective was it, and when leads close, what percentage came from a particular source. The next one is likeliness to close, and this is really an interesting qualifier because what it is it's a score that helps both the marketing and the sales team understand the quote-unquote likeliness that a lead will close. And you may say, well, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that you determine a set of criteria, and then you add a matrix to that, and you have the marketing team score the lead in the beginning, and when they hand it over to the sales team scores it and says, this is how likely I believe it is to close. Why that matters is later on down the road when leads do start closing or when leads don't close, you can go back and compare and say, now at this stage, it was rated a number 3 in likeliness to close. What happened? And it really helps you better understand the quality of your leads. And of course, qualifications. Can't get away from that. Does the lead meet your list of qualifications? Are they qualified to move on to the sales process? A lot of times we're stuffing leads through the sales process and they should not be there yet. They are not yet ready to make that buying decision. They get tired of hearing from you or they get tired of being called and they fall off your radar. So qualifications are very important. Conversions. How many leads convert to sales? I mean, this is just a given. If you don't know who's converting, you're really not able to understand your sales pipeline. Gross sales generated. I'm always looking at the amount of gross dollars that were generated from a single source or a single campaign or a single event or a single marketing effort, whatever that may be. And then here, the last one is something that often gets overlooked, lag time and leakage. Lag time is how long did it take the average lead to convert, by stage or by source or, whatever it may be. When I say by stage, in the sales stage, how long did it take them to convert? If they came from an event or from a particular webinar, how long on average does it take for that lead to get through the sales pipeline? And then leakage. How many leads did not convert, right? How many of those leads dropped out during the sales process, and where did they drop out? And are there any patterns that you can identify to make changes? I stop right there. I rest my case. That's probably the most important indicator there is for a marketer. And then I always chuckle when I see Warren Buffett's rule number 1 and rule number 2, right? Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Now, we know that's not literal, but at the same time, it's definitely your goal as a marketing and sales team to make the most of the investment that you've put out there.
Right. Okay, and measuring and comparing absolutely is a means to have that visibility, that sense of money gained, money lost.
Exactly. And then finally, if you're measuring and you're putting a marketing plan in place, you're measuring the results, you're thinking about the end results before you begin, what should it look like? Well, 4 things. You're able to make changes to the next marketing campaign because you understand the patterns, you understand what works and what doesn't. Number 2, you know what worked, you know what didn't work, and you're able to use that information wisely. Number 3, you're able to compare the results to your original targets. I can't tell you how incredibly important that is, and it's probably where the marketing process breaks down the most. And then finally, refining your aim and repeating successful results. And that really is all about measurements.
Well, yeah, Ginger, that was a very comprehensive overview. And we've reached the end of our webcast. The point of the webcast was to help you really understand what goes into developing a successful marketing plan. And you've done a wonderful job itemizing each of the focus areas in that marketing function. I want to thank you, Ginger, bringing this set of knowledge that's based on so many years of experience and working with so many of your MSP business partners. So thank you for that great insight.
Thank you, Ken. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, now, Ginger, you've covered all the bases clearly in this presentation. If any attendees would like guidance, can they connect with you and for-profit? I'm guessing yes. And here we've provided a few methods for them to reach you through social media. But can they also connect with you directly?
Absolutely, as simple as ginger@for-profit.com. And we provide a number of services, everything from doing a comprehensive marketing analysis or assessment within your business and showing you where the potential is, where the holes are, where you may be able to gain money or gain profit and grow in a certain area. And then we also put a comprehensive marketing plan into action for you. We provide outsourced marketing directors and leadership, or we help you inside the company, whatever works best for you. So we provide a number of marketing services to help you get started.
Okay, Ginger, I missed a slide here. I apologize, but I don't want you to miss an opportunity to speak to a point that you've added in. Could you comment on this particular slide of reference to marketing influencers?
You bet. Marketing takes a day to learn, and unfortunately it takes a lifetime to master. Marketing influencers are for marketing members that are interested in learning from other marketing members. And really it's a peer group-driven organization where people get together and they share their best practices, they learn from one another, they take away best techniques, and they can implement it immediately in their business. I do have a blog where I talk a lot about different marketing topics, but if you contact me directly, if you have someone on your marketing team that's interested in being a part of that, we definitely have a destination or a place for them.
Okay. So thank you again, Ginger. I thought it was a great webcast, tremendous education. We hope that the audience learned a lot, and we do look forward to having you, the audience, on our next webcasts. The webcasts are archived, including this one. We have a recorded version of this webcast currently available at the Nimsoft MSP Zone. You can get there by going to www.mspzone.com. Access the MSP Playbook, and then click on the Advocacy tab. You'll see a series of webcast replays. And today's webcast is one of those. So thanks again, and we will hopefully connect with you in the near future on a future webcast. Good selling to all of our MSP partners, and we hope to connect with our MSP prospects. Okay, y'all. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference call. You may now